Hi everyone, my name's Lily. I'm the book reviewer behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to do a video where I talk about 3 versatile Asian authors that I think you should read. So basically, May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and so I wanted to talk about 3 authors who I love their backlists. They are also authors that I've been following for a while, so you might be kind of getting the vibe of who I'm going to talk about. And I wanted to talk a little bit because I think that we see a lot of books that are really new, and then sometimes we forget to look at an author's backlist. So today I want to talk about authors that have extremely versatile backlists that you definitely should check out. The first one that I want to talk about is Axie Oh. If you've seen The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, this is Axie's, I wouldn't say latest book because actually ASAP is Axie's latest book, but this has been one book that really popped off, I would say, and maybe also on Book Talk, this might be one of those like Book Talk books. But these are all the Axie books that I have here. Oh, here we go. This is the worst pile setup ever, but there we go. But I've been following Axie since, as you can tell, Rebel Soul, which was Axie's debut, and it is a YA sci-fi about giant kind of, I think this was described to me as Pacific Rim. There's like a weapons development vibe. It's set in a East Asia 2199, so it's set in a dystopia-ish future society. It's definitely sci-fi. It's about kind of pilot programs for these human piloted mecha robots, essentially. Was so fun. And it also has a sequel/companion novel called Rogue Heart, which I do not have a copy of, but that was a YA sci-fi duology. And then Axie went on, actually, I think, to write, I'm not sure if XOXO happened first or The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, but I can very easily find out. So The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea was 2022, and XOXO was 2021, yeah. So XOXO came next. This is a YA contemporary K-pop story. Basically, she's in Los Angeles. She meets a mysterious stranger, and he's flying home to South Korea. And then she moves to South Korea, and then, of course, she finds out that he is a K-pop star. So XOXO came out in 2021, YA contemporary, another different genre. Then after that, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea came out. As I said, you may have known about The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. It is kind of this YA swoony fantasy about power and what we'll do for power and sacrifice for a community. So basically, she grows up in this community where every year a maiden is sacrificed. The maiden who gets sacrificed or is chosen to be sacrificed for that year, her brother is actually in love with. So she wants to kind of figure out if that, like, what's going to happen. And so to save her brother, because he's going to interfere with that, she sacrifices herself instead, and then she goes down into the sea and goes to the spirit realm. So that is the premise for The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. As you might have seen this around. It's been very, very popular recently. ASAP, I guess, came out also, I don't know if this year or 2023. I have my pre-order stuff in here. Yeah, it came out 2024. I was like, it came out recently. 2024. This is a sequel companion novel to XOXO. This is really, really fun as well. And it's also about K-pop idols, but this actually takes place with K-pop idols. And so it's a K-pop idol and I think another K-pop band or K-pop member. And so she is trying to figure out, does she really want to be an idol anymore? What is her dreams? What are her dreams and what are her ambitions? So wanted to mention that one as well. And as you can tell, Axie's played around with a bunch of different genres. We have contemporary, fantasy, and sci-fi. So that's why I wanted to mention her first. The next one we have is Akemi Bowman. And Akemi, how many books has Akemi written? Akemi's written a bunch. I'm just pulling it up right now. Akemi has written a whole bunch of books, which I don't all have, but I can show you the ones I do have. And let's first start off with Starfish, which is the first one that Akemi has ever written or had ever written. If you saw my 5 books to know me video, you will have seen Starfish, so I won't delve too much into that one. I will leave the link below. But this was Akemi's first book, and it is a YA contemporary. Follows it up with another YA contemporary, Summerbird Blue. It has a different vibe. It has a lot of surfing, and it talks a lot about grief. Oh, yes. I feel like it does talk about surfing. Yes, it talks about surfing, but it also talks about music, and it also talks about sisterhood and grief. Incredibly emotional book, but was really, really cute. It also has a great kind of like mentor feel as well to Summerbird Blue. Next, we have The Infinity Courts. This is a YA sci-fi, also about kind of, is it AI or? So basically, she is murdered and she goes into a place called Infinity, and where human consciousnesses go when your physical body dies. So that's definitely very sci-fi. And she discovers that Ophelia, which is a virtual assistant, but to me kind of reads as kind of like an AI person, the virtual assistant used by humans on Earth, is kind of the ruler of this infinity space. And so humans in the infinity space are servants in this one, and they're being oppressed. That's the basis of the Infinity Courts. There's also a sequel called The Genesis Wars, which comes out. I don't know where my copy of The Genesis Wars is, honestly, but The Genesis Wars is a sequel. Can't really talk about that too much because it's a sequel. The other one is Harley in the Sky, which actually my copy of Harley in the Sky is with my mom. I had her read Harley in the Sky because there's a lot of conversations about motherhood. Harley in the Sky is a YA story that takes place where she is a tightrope acrobat person, I think, and a trapeze artist. It's like tightrope acrobat. She's a trapeze artist, but so much of Harley in the Skies revolved around motherhood that I actually gave it to my mom to read. And it's about how she gets into basically this huge fight with her parents and goes and joins the rival traveling circus. And so a lot of these has, I'm pretty sure, kind of like letters to her mom or memories with her mom, and it just felt like something that my mom and I needed to read and discuss. So that is Harley in the Sky, and Akemi has also written 2 middle grade books as well. Generation Misfits, which I haven't read, so I'm going to be just, talking about it, but it's basically about a J-pop club. They form an imitation band of their favorite group, and they found friendship, I think. And so Generation Misfits is Akemi's middle grade. And Akemi has also written another middle grade called Where the Lost Ones Go. It's a contemporary fantasy. It's about a 12-year-old biracial Japanese-American girl who grieves the loss of her grandmother and attempts to contact her beyond the grave. So I wanted to mention Akemi because of, A, how many books Akemi has written, but also we have YA fantasy, we have YA contemporary, but also contemporary fantasy. We also have sci-fi, we have middle grade, all in all. And the next person I want to talk about, who you might have thought was going to be in this video, is Traci Chee. I don't even know where all of my Traci Chee books are. They are scattered all over the place. But the first one that I read, and I think Traci's debut was The Reader. As I said, if you saw my video about 5 books to get to know me, I will leave obviously that link below. I talk a lot about The Reader, so I'm not going to talk about it now, but it's basically a YA fantasy about a society where no one can read and what happens when someone discovers a book. That is The Reader. There's also The Speaker and The Storyteller. That's a trilogy, and so they're all 3 there. The next one also is We Are Not Free, which is a YA historical fiction, multiple perspective. I think there's 11, all about Japanese internment camps and these connected stories. Tears, just like tears going down my face. This is such a fantastic historical fiction story about a period in American history which isn't talked enough about, and I highly recommend it. We also have 1,000 Steps into Night, which I have an ARC copy, but it's in my special ARC vault. 1,000 Steps into Night is so much about feminine rage, so much about a world that tries to tamp down girls that are angry, and what happens if a girl is angry. If people think that she's a monster. Is she a monster? That, in a nutshell, is 1,000 Steps into Night, and I loved it so, so much. The next one is on my TBR. I haven't read it yet. And it is, oh, that's not the right book. It is Kindling, which is a YA fantasy retelling of, what is it? It's a YA fantasy retelling about 7 lost soldiers searching for the peace they once fought for. What is the actual, oh, film Seven Samurai and the Magnificent Seven. I was like, it's seven something. I can't remember what it was. As you can tell, the people are on the front. This is very much going on my to be read almost immediately TBR. I'm so excited for it. As I said, I love Traci Chee books. I cannot wait for this one. I love the idea that it's going to be a YA fantasy retelling as well. So those are the 3 books or 3 authors that I wanted to talk about in the YA sphere / middle grade. I'm going to think about, I would love to do a video talking about adult authors. So authors who write in the adult space, obviously these are all adult authors, but authors who write in the adult space. If you want to know about that, then just let me know down below. But I hope that you found these really helpful and that you've found a lot of books that you would love to read. I wanted to take a very fun photo basically for the thumbnail where I hold up all of these books, but there are just so many books. Here, I'll just show you the edges because there's just so many books. Basically, you can't even see my face. There are so many books. I hope that you are very excited to read some of these backlist books. Also, just a reminder for any of the books where I talk about specific Heritage Month or specific months in general, you should be reading those kind of months and those books all year round. May is not the only time you should be reading Asian American Pacific Islander books, so definitely want to mention that as well. I want to do also a second part of this book where I talk about other Asian ethnicities, because I know that this one is very much East Asian specific. We have, let's see, Traci we have Japanese and Korea basically are talked about in this video. And so there are obviously a lot of different Asian ethnicities. I think East Asia gets a lot of attention, and I would love to talk about other different Asian ethnicities. So I will be doing other videos. They just won't be coming out in May. I'm trying to get this one out in May, but look forward to those in the future. The ideas are percolating. I hope you have a really great reading day, week, month, and rest of your 2024 year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!